This is the story of a very special vineyard, Bricco del Cavallo. Bricco is an ancient Celtic word that belongs to people who lived in the Langhe even before the ancient Romans, and it means the top of a hill. And il cavallo, the horse, because when my father acquired this property in the 60s, and he only had a small tractor, he thought it was too dangerous to have his workers drive the tractor in the steep vineyard, so he bought a workhorse. And we still have a photograph that portrays my brother and I on that horse. So we have many memories attached to that vineyard, to its story, and of course the quality of the Barbera grapes that we've been growing there for many years. We are in Roddino, just outside the border with Serralunga, and the terroir, the soil, is in continuity with the marl and the clay of Serralunga. But we're just outside the Barolo appellation, so we cannot make Barolo here, but we are still in the Alba DOC, and we can make wonderful Barbera d'Alba or Nebbiolo d'Alba. Roddino is known for its great Barberas. Barbera from Roddino is always full-bodied, really powerful, very concentrated, high in alcohol, but rich also of anthocyanins, that means color, extract, very good acidity. So this huge structure allows Barbera from Roddino to age in the long time. They're very, very long-lasting Barberas. Such a huge structure requires time to ripen, so we have to be patient and we have to allow this Barbera to grow in time. We keep it for at least 2 years in small barrels and then at least another 6 months to 1 year in the bottle. So we release Barbera Bricco del Cavallo when it is at least 3 years old, almost like Barolo. It's a small release of about 3,000 bottles, so we have chosen our most beautiful bottle. It's called Elite bottle, the same that we have for Barolo Riserva and for Dolcetto Vigna Vecchia del Pinnacolo. And this is our top line. And here we have a vintage 2017 in the glass. It was already a vintage of small yield and maximum concentration because of the very hot and dry summer. All wines from 2017 are particularly concentrated. But this Barbera for sure, and the color already shows it, it's very dark in the middle, almost blackish in the middle, and dark red in the outside. We expect from Barbera intense color, but this is really even more intense than we expected. The tight legs already show the big structure and the high level of alcohol. This is 15%. Let's see the bouquet. Very long and thorough. There's plenty of ripe fruit, macerated fruit. There's marl, cherries, plums, and figs. All that kind of fruit that is very sugary, very intense smelling at the end of the summer. And then soon after that, there are spicy notes, in particular sandalwood and white pepper. There's a continuity, though, between those fruity aromas and the spicy elements, and a nice hint of oak. But in particular, these superior noble ethers, like we find in Barolo and Barbaresco, support almost like a second wave of bouquet, where you would expect the bouquet to fade out. Here it stays and comes back very, very strong. This is unique. We have all the energy and the force of Barbera, which is a wine of power, but at the same time, the aging, 2 years in oak, the ripening has created a level of elegance which is not there in young Barberas. Sometimes young Barberas can be slightly aggressive, but here's definitely a different level. This big body contains all the acidity and the alcohol. The Barbera is not vertical anymore, but it has opened up in all its. It's a wide wine that expresses a very, very wide structure, and it has reached the level of elegance which is hard to find in Barbera. This is quite unique. And then it's easier also to combine it with food. Piedmontese food means first courses, pasta courses that are very rich, that are very, very tasty sauce, or main courses based on meat, even when meat is rather dry. because if you have fatty meat, then it's okay to have a dry wine like Barolo and Barbaresco. But for dry meat, you need something which is juicy and denser, like this Barbera Bricco del Cavallo. I must say that in Roddino, I've tasted some of the best Barbera ever. It's that land is really gifted for Barbera. You know, we're between the lower and the higher Langhe, in a zone at an altitude between 500 and 700 meters of elevation, where people in the past hesitated to plant vineyards. But now, also with the climate change, we've seen many new vineyards for the Alta Langhe sparkling wine, for example. And also Barbera itself, it has changed, it's different, it still has the power and the force, but it's softer, it's not tannic, it's really very, very elegant. So it's really time to appreciate Barbera, which now speaks up for itself, it speaks louder than ever, and I think Barbera from Roddino's are really fantastic examples of Barbera red wine. Now, I forgot to tell you that this is the only wine that we bottle in a 5-liter huge magnum, also called the Bordeaux Jeroboam. If you're very thirsty or you have many friends to share the wine with. But definitely the big size is ideal for long keeping. This is a bottle you can keep probably 30 years.